It can be quite difficult. What I like to do is think about what animals kids really enjoy. That's probably my first thing too. Obviously the rats are the heroes of the pirate series, and that came about because the word rat is in the middle of the English word for pirate. And so I decided to use rats, and then I thought what other animals could be in the universe with the rats in the series that I have created. So they needed to be small enough. We couldn't have huge big animals for the rats. So dogs, cats, lots of those animals started with, and then it depends on the locations as well. So if they go to the jungle, we bring in lots more monkeys. If they're into the the snowy areas in the later stories, then we bring in lots of birds and animals you'd expect to find in those different areas. Well, I first started making stories before I had a family, so I guess I was a big kid, and I think part of it was when I was studying at university, I was actually staying with a family that had 7 kids. And so when most kids, or most people are growing up and becoming teenagers and adults, I still had all these young kids around in this huge big house where I lived. So I remember that experience, and I guess I didn't have a chance to totally grow up because we always had like kids' toys and things around, and they were lovely kids, but it was like having a second family, I guess. And now, yes, it's probably true that there is a kid living in my head, and I think it's good for writers to kind of imagine what it's like to be a child and to try to retain some of that innocence and the wonder in the world that gives me ideas too. Yeah, so there's a bit of probably natural talent that comes into it. I talked to a Year 2 teacher recently, I haven't seen for many years, and this is what she said to me. She said, when you were in Year 2, we couldn't read your writing and you used to grip a pencil in your fist like this. So people would say I had no talent back then, so there must be some hard work involved. So I guess for that question, I would probably say the hard work, the practice is probably more important for my journey because I've seen how far that I have come. For me, it's not so much about the talent to start you off, it's more about having the imagination or the passion. Well, look, personally what I like to do with my daughters is we give them a lot of things that they can use to be creative. So it could be blocks and Lego and different things that they can use to create. We give them a lot of books available as well. We don't give them like tablets and computers all the time, like they get to use that like most kids do, but it's not like they don't live on there. And so what happens then is there's this time where they're there and they go, what am I going to do with my time? It's almost like when they start to become a little bit bored, that's when their creativity kicks in. Yeah, look, it's been fantastic so far. Obviously China's such a big country, and it's very different than Australia, but I live near a big forest, so pretty much I step out my door and I've got wallabies and little kangaroos and echidnas and things. It sounds like I live in the bush. We actually live in one of the 3rd biggest cities, but when you're in the middle of big cities like in Beijing here, it's it's different, but it's great, it's fantastic. There's energy, it's what I love about it. There's energy, there's history, there's culture as well. There's such a rich history with the architecture, the buildings, the stories, the tradition, and that's what you need. In a writer, you want all those different things to come together so the story has depth. And I'm finding that depth is giving me lots of great ideas too.